Good afternoon, I'm Rob Boskamp, and you're listening to South Texas Midday. Thank you for joining me on this Wednesday, September 17th. The city of Mathis could be out of drinkable water in a few months if conditions don't change.
Right now, the module shows us we're going to have, it's not that we'll run out, but we'll have difficulty drawing. And that's late December if the drought continues the way it is.
That was City Manager Cedric Davis speaking to KIII News. He said the city is fast-tracking 2 new water wells near the treatment plant. Those are expected to pump out more than 1 million gallons per day, double what the city currently needs. The city's only water source, Lake Corpus Christi, could be undrinkable by December. Levels from Lake Corpus Christi are currently at 15.9%, down from 16.4% this time last week. Meanwhile, Choke Canyon Reservoir levels are currently at 11.5%. Temporary road and ramp closures are now in effect through tomorrow on the Harbor Bridge. Those will be in place from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. for northbound Crosstown Expressway to Staple Street and IH-37 toward downtown and the Bayfront. Workers are installing overhead signage during that time. Commuters on northbound Crosstown to northbound US 181 toward Portland and the North Beach area will not be affected. If you are headed northbound on Crosstown to Staple Street for the Uptown area, you will detour to the connector flyover ramp for northbound Highway 37, immediately exit at Nueces Bay Boulevard and make a U-turn to continue on the frontage road. Those headed northbound on Crosstown to 37 toward the Uptown, Downtown, and Bayfront areas will follow that same detour, immediately exit at Nueces Bay Boulevard and make a U-turn to continue on southbound 37. A U.S. district judge has rejected a lawsuit by conservation groups challenging the Federal Aviation Administration's approval of expanded rocket launch operations by SpaceX, and that's next to a national wildlife refuge in the Rio Grande Valley. Texas Public Radio's Steve Short has the details.
The groups are trying to protect the endangered ocelots, jaguarundis, Kemp's Ridley turtles, and shorebirds. They say noise, light pollution, construction, and road traffic degrade the area. U.S. District Judge Carl Nichols in Washington said the FAA had satisfied its obligation to, quote, take a hard look at the effects of light on nearby wildlife. President Trump signed an executive order last month that would relax environmental rules for commercial spaceship companies. The companies now may be able to forego the environmental reviews that are required under the National Environmental Policy Act. I'm Steve Short in San Antonio.
An investigation into the suspected misappropriation of booster club funds is under review by the Jackson County District Attorney's Office. The Edna Police Department shared a post on social media yesterday about the review of their investigation. Edna ISD Superintendent Robert O'Connor told 25 News Now that frequent officer turnover and turmoil have long plagued the booster club. In the social post, the police department is asking anyone with credible information or documentation to call them at 361-782-5271 or to provide information directly to the Jackson County DA's office. The 13th Court of Appeals in McAllen may finally answer the question, can a school district ban a trustee from the boardroom? Back in June, PSJA ISD censured trustee Cynthia Gutierrez, according to Valley Central News, when a majority of the school board reprimanded her for, quote, prioritizing political gamesmanship and self-promotion over the district's educational mission, end quote. As part of her punishment, Gutierrez was banned from the boardroom and forced to attend meetings by video conference. She responded with a lawsuit challenging both the censure and her punishment. During the past 3 years, at least 3 school boards in the Rio Grande Valley have banned trustees from the boardroom. Seadrift City officials are reviewing a budget proposal that removes the city's lone patrol deputy and features other funding cuts to the police department. City Council addressed the budget at a workshop yesterday. 25 News Now said the city is considering the removal of the patrol deputy position, which receives an annual salary of $52,000. The city's police secretary position could also be changed to a department clerk. Those in that position would earn about $13,000 less. Less funds would also be available for comp time payout next fiscal year as the city proposed to cut that budget in half. The police chief position will remain at $65,000, while the lieutenant position will transition into an hourly pay scale with a $2,800 pay increase. The budget proposal is not official until the council votes on and approves it with a motion on the related agenda item. Victoria residents are upset about the current condition of a roadway under reconstruction near Riverside Parkway. Resident Patrick Hathaway told 25 News Now the area near McWright Street is a mess. The city's project involves completely rebuilding the road from McWright to Mockingbird Lane. He said the road is breaking down with asphalt breaking through the surface.
How long is this going to become a huge pothole and damage a vehicle? Just get it fixed. It's a danger when it's not fixed.
Hathaway suggested that if repairs aren't done correctly, weather could also cause potholes to form that might damage tires. The city of Alamo lost 6,000 gallons of water yesterday. Officials responded to a video of water pouring out of the city's water tower. A city spokesperson told KRGV that tower is not leaking and the cause was due to overflow. The spokesperson said it happened when gauges on the water tower went out. It prevented the operator from knowing if the water tower was full. The city was repairing those gauges as of yesterday. At work or free time, we're constantly using computers and or electronic devices. But if we're not careful, all that time can lead to physical injury. In this week's Vital Signs, KERA's Sam Baker talks with Baylor Scott and white spine surgeon Dr. Giannis Erasmus about tech neck.
Essentially, anytime we're looking down and flexing our neck forward, that can cause problems in terms of our alignment as well as pain and muscle issues, and that's what we commonly refer to as tech neck.
Does this directly stem from how you handle the device or simply spending too much time on it?
Combination of both, right? And so when we talk about the ergonomics, it's the alignment of our neck while we're using our devices. And so if we had an upright alignment, we would really mitigate a lot of the problems that we associate with tech neck. So if you're lifting the phone and holding it at eye level, if you were looking forward, that would be great for your neck. But obviously that's very uncomfortable and you can only do that for so long. And with laptops, that's actually impossible to do because typically we have it on our lap or on our desk and we're typing, but then that puts the screen down below us and we're having to look down. But like you said, it's also a function of time. If we're doing it in short stints with our neck not in a great position, it's not going to cause that many problems. But if we're doing it for extended periods of time, looking down hours on end, then it can really cause a lot of problems.
How serious an injury can this become?
It's very rare, but there are instances where some of the ligaments can be stretched out and we can see them turn into bone and calcify, as we say, and that just indicates a chronic injury to those ligaments. That's, again, uncommon, but it can be pretty significant. We also worry about that deformity with the neck being flexed forward becoming more of a fixed or rigid deformity, and that can lead to something called sagittal imbalance, which can be a very disabling condition.
Is tech neck something you can kind of take care of your own, or is there a certain point at which you need to seek a medical professional?
Most all of the treatment is something that we can do on our own at home. It's putting down your phone and going for a walk or calling somebody and having a direct voice communication with them or meeting with them in person and having a coffee or having lunch and looking up at them will help prevent tech neck. And time on the devices, decreasing that time can help prevent it. Physical activity, going outside, going for a walk, going to the gym, all these things will get us off our devices, get our neck in a more normal position and help strengthen our core muscles. Pilates and yoga are the two number one things I recommend for any issue with the back, and that can help a lot with strengthening. But when the condition becomes severe and you're beginning to have a rigid deformity of the neck, or you start to have pain and numbness going down into the hands and arms, that's usually an indication to seek medical care.
Haven't we been warned about this before? I seem to recall like years ago we were getting instruction on what's the best way to be seated at a desk with a desktop computer and all of this. Were we just not getting the message?
You're exactly right. You know, this condition started and did not have the name of tech neck back then, but it started when we were on our desktops and laptops, and things that were helpful back then and are still helpful now are having the sit-to-stand desks where we can bring that monitor up to our eye level. It's all about working on our ergonomics if we're going to be in one position for a long time. With the transition off of kind of traditional desktops onto tablets, laptops, and specifically our phones, it's only worsened our condition because not only can we be on our laptops at work, but we can be on our phones at home. We can be curled up in a couch in a bad position on our phone with the TV going and paying attention to our phone and really get our neck into a bad position. So yes, it's not a new condition or a new concern, but it seems to be exacerbated by our increased time that we spend on our phones.
Dr. Giannis Avramis is an orthopedic spine surgeon on the medical staff at Baylor University Medical Center. And Hispanic Heritage Month began this week and will continue through October 15th. KUT News has today's Hispanic Heritage Moment, focusing on Susana Almanza.
In today's Hispanic Heritage Moment, we learn about an Austinite known nationally for her environmental justice work.
Born in Austin in 1952, Susana Almanza grew up in segregated East Austin. She learned English from African American children across the street. Growing up, Almanza was outraged at the discrimination against her black friends and against Latinos. She often translated for her parents, who spoke only Spanish. She later credited that advocacy with giving her a voice to stand up to authority figures. In 1991, Almanza co-founded an organization to fight systemic environmental racism. That organization is called People Organized in Defense of Earth and Her Resources, known by its acronym, PODER. PODER's biggest accomplishment came in 1993 when it led the successful fight to remove toxic underground petroleum tanks in East Austin. For the Voces Oral History Center at UT Austin's Moody College of Communication and College of Liberal Arts, I'm Amberlynn Negron.
And that is the latest news and information on South Texas Midday. If you missed any stories from today's newscast, you can check out this and previous episodes of South Texas Midday wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Rob Boskamp. Your community arts calendar and more is on the way.